solution in problem number 1 in quiz 2. This diagram shows that the energy that enter in the system is equal to the energy that leave in the system. This is the given for problem number 1. Pressure 1 is equal to 200 psi. Velocity 1 is equal to 200 foot-pound second. Volume 1 is equal to 1 cubic foot per pound. Changing internal energy is equal to negative 25 BTU per pound. Pressure 2 is equal to 20 psi. Velocity 2 is equal to 1000 foot-pound second. Volume 2 is equal to 8 cubic foot per pound. Dahil no heat transferred, Q is equal to 0. To find the work, we use this formula. P1 plus K1 plus workflow 1 plus velocity 1 plus Q is equal to P2 plus K2 plus workflow 2 plus velocity 2 plus work. But first, we must find the kinetic energy 1, workflow 1, kinetic energy 2, and workflow 2. To find the kinetic energy 1, we use this formula. K1 plus velocity 1 raised to 2 over 2K is equals to 200 foot-second squared over 2 times 32.174 lbm foot over lbf second squared times 778 lbf foot over BTU is equal to 0.80 BTU over lbm. To find the kinetic energy 2, we use this formula. K2 is equal to velocity 2 raised to 2 over 2K is equal to 1000 foot-second squared over 2 times 32.174 lbm feet over lbf second squared times 778 lbm feet over BTU is equal to 19.97 BTU per lbm. To find the workflow 1, we use this formula. Workflow 1 is equal to pressure 1 times volume 1 is equal to 200 pound per inch squared times 144 inch squared per foot squared times 1 cubic foot per lbm over 778 lbf foot over BTU is equal to 37.2 BTU per lbm. To find the workflow 2, we use this formula. Workflow 2 is equal to pressure 2 times volume 2 is equal to 20 pound per inch squared times 144 inch squared per foot squared times 8 cubic foot per lbm over 778 lbm foot over BTU is equal to 29.61 BTU per lbm. Now, we can find the work. To find the work, we use this formula. 0.K1 plus workflow 1 is equal to K2 plus workflow 2 plus changing internal energy plus work. 0.80 plus 37.2 is equal to 19.97 plus 29.61 minus 25 plus work. is equal to 13.24 BTU per lbm. To determine the work in HP for 10 lbm per minute, this is the solving. Work is equal to 13.24 BTU per lbm times 10 pound per minute over 42.4 BTU per minute. HP is equal to 3.12 HP. 2.582 plus 1.594 minus 4.383 equal to 0.896 plus 3.516 plus 6.241 plus work is equal to negative 10.86 kilojoules per kilogram. Work is equal to negative 10.86 kilojoule per kilogram times 272 kilogram per minute is equal to 2954 kilojoule per minute. The solution for problem number 2. This diagram shows that the energy that live in the system is equal to the energy that enter in the system. This is the given for problem number 2. Pressure 1 is equal to 99.29 kPa. Volume 1 is equal to 0.026 m³ per kilogram. Internal energy 1 is equal to 1594 joule per kilogram. Heat is equal to negative 4383 joule per kilogram. Mass is equal to 272 kilogram per minute. Pressure 2 is equal to 689.5 kPa. Volume 2 is equal to 0.0051 m³ per kilogram. Internal energy 2 is equal to 6241 joule per kilogram. Change in kinetic energy is equal to 896 joule per kilogram. To find the work, we use this formula: P1 plus K1 plus workflow 1 plus internal energy 1 plus heat is equal to pressure 2 plus kinetic energy 2 plus workflow 2 plus internal energy 2 plus work. But first, we must find the value of workflow 1 and workflow 2. To find the workflow 1, we use this formula. Workflow 1 is equal to pressure 1 times volume 1 is equal to 99.29 kilonewton per m² times 0.026 m³ per kilogram is equal to 2.583 kilojoules per kilogram. To find the work flow 2, we use this formula. Workflow 2 is equal to pressure 2 times volume 2 is equal to 689.5 kilonewton per m² times 0.0051 m³ per kilogram is equal to 3.516 kilojoules per kilogram. Now, we have the value of workflow 1 and workflow 2. We can now find the value of work. To find the value of work, we use this formula. Workflow 1 is equal to internal energy 1 plus heat is equal to change in kinetic energy plus workflow 2 plus internal energy 2 plus work. 2.582 plus 1.594 minus 4.383 is equal to 0.896 plus 3.516 plus 6.241 plus work. The value of work is equal to negative 10.86 kilojoules per kilogram